So I haven't filmed a video in a while, not that that shows, and it is a very, very, very cold winter's day. It's minus something, see all the ice, can't you? So I've gone for something uplifting. January's not an easy month, is it? And what I've gone for is kind of tropical, happy winter fragrances. So fragrances to make you smile and keep you warm during this horrific cold weather. And that's basically it. Don't need to be a long intro for that, does it? So first up is from Kilian, and that's Playing with the Devil. Now this is blackcurrant and peach primarily, and this kind of tropical fruity feel about it, or it's like a fruit punch. There's also a nice resinous warmth in the base, and it's all together, it's quite syrupy and joyous, and you get this kind of orangey dark red colour from it. It's quite yummy. It is one of their boozy ones. It's not spoken about lots, but this is one that kind of transports you to like a nice beautiful tropical beach, cocktails, some fine lovely summery music, and the kind of soft sound of the waves and all of that, and the sun beating down. It really is a gorgeous, warm, just easy one. I don't know why this one doesn't get much love. It's very nice. It's not like Herba Pura or anything like that. It's actually good, and it smells good, and it's smooth and lovely. So yeah, that's Playing with the Devil. Don't need to waffle on. Next is one from Ormonde, and it's called Osmanthus. This one is, well, obviously the clue's in the name. There's a lot of Osmanthus in there, but it's also got this kind of green furriness about it. The Osmanthus, I think, may have Davana in it as well, giving it this kind of added peachy, beautiful warmth. Again, it's another kind of orangey scent. The Osmanthus itself is a little bit furry, but a little bit leathery, like a suede Osmanthus. And this kind of works its way through it. But what I think what gives this its kind of thing for me is not just that rich syrupy loveliness, it's also got like a nice touch of the green, and the green gives it a kind of fresher feel. It is quite a big scent actually, and again it's very warming to wear something slightly fruity, slightly green on this kind of a wintry day. I'm not going to waffle on loads about these. So that's Osmanthus from Ormonde. Next is from Kajal. It's Lamar. It's a gifted bottle, and this one is it's predominantly this kind of stewed golden pineapple, and there's some red berries and rose, and that's kind of what makes it up. It's another very kind of dense, heavier one, and the main thing is all these things. There might be a touch of saffron in there. There's a kind of thick, rich woodiness in the base, but it reminds me of like a big table full of the freshest, juiciest fruits. It's very, very nice, and it's very rich and very warm. This would be one you probably not wear in the summer because it's quite so big, but again, the way the roses kind of work adds a little bit of powderiness and that redness with the berries, and then it all just is this rich, freshly stewed, syrupy, gorgeous pineapple that just takes you somewhere warm and somewhere tropical. So that's Kajal's Lamar. Next is from Aromatics, and it's called Wild Summer Crush. Now this one, the kind of star note is this beautiful red/pink grapefruit, which is ridiculously fresh and zesty, but the red grapefruits tend to be a little bit sweeter, don't they? and this adds this fresh sweetness through it. There's a lot in here, it's not just the grapefruit. I think there might be some orange, and there's kind of orangey notes, maybe orange blossom or something like that. And then this again, this warm resinous base. Is it myrrh or a popanax? One of the two. Just gives it this warmth there, and there might be some benzoin, so it's very smooth. But what lasts and lasts is that beautiful, rich grapefruit. Oh, it's so good, and it does take you to kind of a warmer tropical day, and it just smells absolutely magnificent. One of my favourite, it was a buy last year. It is absolutely gorgeous, and we know I struggle with citrus and things like that, but this one just sparkles with that warmth. So that's April Aromatics Wild Summer Crush. So next up is from One Way Bridge, and this is a spectacular fragrance. It's Elisa's kind of almost first gourmandy leaning one, and it's pitching woo. It's hard to describe. It's like a kind of, starts off like a warm ice cream with this kind of peachy touch, and this hint of like a minty toffee. We call them humbugs over here. I won't describe what they are because I already have about a million times. And it has that kind of little bit of that with this kind of warmy-ish ice cream thing, and then as it kind of develops, it gets a little kind of almost fizzy, so it's almost like an ice cream float, and then the ice cream is not sickly or heavy or weird. It is actually like just a kind of warm ice cream on a hot day, mixing with that slight peachy feel, the slight minty humbug feel. It's absolutely magnificent, and it has a gorgeous muskiness to it as well. It's a gorgeous fragrance. So that's Pitching Woo from One Way Bridge. Next is a Utopia Coco Vanille or something like that from Kayali. It's also gifted. This one is your kind of tropical beachy sunshine one. This one's quite delightful. It's does have a kind of coconutty feel in there. Is there coconut? Maybe. There's also kind of obviously the smooth woods in the base, the muskiness. There's something like, is it frangipani or a tiare, giving that kind of petally thickness in there. There's also some honeysuckle in this one, which is the thing I think makes it really stand out from all the rest. It's really quite lovely. Honeysuckle's not used much, but it gives this kind of not sharp, it's not sharp, but a little bit of a sharper feel in there, and it's kind of very nectary and what have you. And it's just it's a nice unusual touch in there. And this one is, yeah, if you like them kind of beachy sunsetty sun sand ones and whatnot, I think this is a good one. So that's Kayali's Utopia Coco Vanille, or Coco Utopia Vid, something like that. Next is from Masque Milano, and it's one called Petra. This one has a little bit of a kind of a nod. It's by no means a clone, it's by no means the same to Coco Mademoiselle, in the sense that it's a fruity patchouli, but the fruits are so vivid. It's like a big mixture of juicy fruits, dried fruits, all of that. Like you can see all the colours on the tables, like citrusy fruits and darker fruits, a bit peachy, a bit kind of sweet. There's pineapples, all sorts in there, and it just gives this sweet fruitiness with the patchouli. There's also in this one a lot more vanilla, so it's very smooth and very warming as well. And then obviously it's Masque Milano, there's some gorgeous stunning musks in it. Like I say, the woodiness helps ground it with a patchouli, and it's just very, very classy. But it's them fruits verging on being tart, but not quite there with the sweetness, like imagine a bowl of fruit salad. That smell you get from it, all that kind of sweetness and all the different colours you smell, it's magnificent. So that's Petra from Masque Milano. Next is, this has to be in all these sorts of videos, it's the first kind of tuberose prominent one. That's Carnal flower from Frederic Malle. I think we all know this one. It is this fantastically wonderful tuberose. There's the greener elements, there's kind of slightly indolic elements, that kind of bubblegummy feel about it. But what makes this particularly stand out is there's a bit of melon in the opening, which gives this kind of weirdness to it, I think. But this kind of fresh bite through it all, and that helps give it the kind of tropical feel. Now obviously the woods and that in the base also kind of direct it like that, kind of smoother, easygoing ones. But it is ultimately this fantastic tuberose. Now tuberose goes, as we know, there's lots of different styles and lots of different ways of doing it. This one having that kind of tropical feel, it makes it kind of really warming and kind of lovely for the colder weather. So that's Carnal flower from Frederic Malle. Next is from Maison Violet, and that's Nuèe Bleue. This one is a kind of, best way to describe it, it's citrus iris. Starts off with these kind of beautiful bubbling lovely citruses, and then there's this kind of big, starts off the, you know, the oracea kind of dry root, and then it becomes a little more floral as it goes through, and there's again lovely smooth woods in the base. But it is the iris mixing with the citruses, which gives it this kind of beautiful, classy, easygoing kind of fragrance. It's like a white shirt one, you know, you're walking along the French Riviera. There's blue flowers everywhere. It doesn't really go powdery, it's more that kind of smooth, waxy feel. Some people call it lipsticky, I suppose. So as it warms and develops, and just keeps that fresh little hint of sharpness through it. Or it's a similar thing to Aromatics, but it's not. It's more, the citrus plays more of a role, and it's a bit brighter and it's a bit kind of more summery. So that's Nuèe Bleue from Maison Violet. And finally is one from Mabelle at Rama. This one had to be in here, it's called Forbidden Bloom. This is kind of peach and pear it starts off with, really kind of juicy and lovely. And then the tropical flowers come in, possibly gardenia. It's kind of got this white, thick, creamy floral touch in there, but they're all enveloped by the lovely fruitiness, and it's really kind of sweet and pleasant. And then under it all there's this kind of touch of like an almost naughty muskiness, like you know, on this beach party there's a bit of frolicking going on, and it's got this just cheeky feel. And again, that will be a little touch of the peach and that sweetness in there. Again, you see in your mind a tropical sunset, them dark red colours, the orange sky, the sun dropping below the horizon, the music pumping, and the you know, the snuggling and whatnot on the beach going on. It's a very lovely one. So that's Forbidden Bloom from Mabelle at Rama. Well, yeah, that's it. I don't know if this was either happy, tropical, or joyous, or sunshiny. Probably none of the above. Like I say, it's my first one for about a month. I've been, well, as we all were in December with that dreaded flu, been quite ill. I'm not quite switched on to everything as of yet, but it is what it is, isn't it? Don't need me moaning. What about yourselves? What's your favourite kind of tropical scent to wear through the winter? What makes you smile during these cold months? Alright, thank you, and yes, very brief one this time. Have a good start to the year and all that jazz. Bye.